Instagram tennis coaching sucks. In today's video, it's going to be one of my favorites, I reckon. I'm going to look at two Instagram tennis coaches, two reels that I've been sent multiple times this week. We're just going to have a look, and I'm going to give my thoughts, my opinions. Before I get into the video, I'm going to say I believe the coaches have good intentions. Coaches have great intentions. They're probably doing it for the right reasons. They are probably trying to develop good players and get what they believe is great advice out. And if you watched my YouTube live last week, I really discussed the lack of knowledge when it comes to tennis coaches and the lack of knowledge about how to coach that gets done on Coach Education around the world. So again, this is not to blast or make fun of the coaches. It's maybe just to highlight why the techniques or the information in the reels might not actually help the players. And hopefully it might get other coaches to maybe rethink their social media presence as well. And I talked about this before. Social media has a huge impact now on tennis coaching, and every tennis coach in the world is putting out information. A lot of it isn't great information, and it makes tennis coaching look bad because people either think that's what tennis coaching should be, that's what tennis coaching is, and if I follow these coaches, and I'll become a really good tennis player. And we'll look at possibly why that might not happen in the video. Both of these accounts are quite very popular accounts. So again, fair play to the coaches. Like, they've got a good following. They've got a good traction on Instagram. But we're going to look at a volley reel of how to hit the perfect volley. And the coach says, okay, follow the step-by-step guide to improve your forehand volley. And he loves Michael Jordan, I reckon, quote as well. MJ, I'm ready for my moment. Are you?
Left hand neck of the racket. We're on our toes. We split. We show the racket face. We load our right.
Okay, first things first. Lots of players on court, which is great. Okay, participation. Love it. First sort of worry for me is, okay, we're working on volley and everyone stood behind the service line or further back. So in terms of spatial awareness, in terms of being in the right situation to perform this movement, they're all in the wrong position. People say, oh yeah, but he's just because he's got so many people on, probably got a camera. But when you're volleying, especially with a volley, when you have such little time to react, your environment's really key, because you'll need to know how close you are from the net. You'll need to know how close you are to your opponent in order to perform the movement. So in this situation, and I'll get to the lack of ball in a minute, but in this situation, you want the body to react in the moment, in the environment it's going to find itself in. So straight away they're volleying from the wrong position. But I get the argument of, yeah, there's lots of people on court and they're not hitting. But again, we want practice to be real. We want practice to be representative. It has to look and feel like the game. So when the body finds itself in a match and it finds itself in a volley position, it has to have it has to be familiar. And in this situation, the bodies and the players in an unnatural position.
Leg. Where's my racket face pointing? Towards the target. Where's my body weight gonna go? Front leg. Where's my racket face still facing? Towards.
Okay, so by the time you've done all that, the ball's gone past you. Also, that's great if the ball lands exactly where his racket is. So if the ball goes where his racket is, then that might be a great volley. And it's interesting with the step forwards as well. The problem with the step forwards is it generally puts you off balance. If you ever look at any top volleyer, they will do a two-step volley. They'll step out with the same leg with the ball, the same side as the ball's on. They'll step forwards to maintain their balance, but also cover a big distance. By stepping forward so much, you're actually putting yourself off balance. And it depends on the pace of the ball. If the ball's coming at you 105-mile-an-hour Alcaraz level, you're not going to be able to step forwards. It's going to be a reflex and reaction volley. So great if the ball lands exactly there at the right time, at the right speed. This will be an amazing volley.
My target. Let's go quicker now. Toes. Split. Show the racket face. Load the body weight. Transfer. Show the racket face.
So again, split step's going to be based on perception of the time of the bounce on the other side. So you can't split step without a cue. You can't split step without the ball. And again, the racket position, the footwork, the body work will all depend on the ball. There's no ball in play, so we can't have we've got no information to use. We've got absolutely no information to use of where to move the body. It's again, I did a video a few weeks back on the shadow swing. It must be huge in America, this, because I see it all the time from the States of people, just loads of people on court dancing around. This will not improve your tennis.
Back to ready again. On the toes. Split. Body weight right leg, shoulder racket face. Transfer, shoulder racket. Left hand.
Again, if you look through the comments, this is spot on. Excellent instruction, clean and concise. Fire. Send this video. High fives. Like, people think this will help. What would really help in that situation is getting the player at the net, feed the ball in, play the point out, get them to play tennis. Again, this is all just superficial stuff. And again, I'm guessing Matt has great intentions and he will truly believe that this works. And I have left Matt a message saying, like, you might want to look at like perception action and understand, like, they need information to perform the movements. And he's quite sarcastic in his reply. Again, I'm guessing he gets quite a lot of comments. And again, this is not hate on Matt. This is not to say like this guy hasn't got good intentions. I think he has. It won't help the tennis player. And what's great here is how many kids he's got on court and how many players he's got. And that's amazing. That's so good. I just wish he let them play tennis. So my second coach and video is the tennis doctor himself, or doctor of tennis. I can't remember what he calls himself. Tennis doctor. Yeah, I've had a few conversations with this guy in comments. Likes a swear word, this guy. Really professional, very professional guy. And again, probably has good intentions. Again, decent follower count. Has wrote a book on the technique of tennis. So he's definitely trying to make a positive impact from tennis, I'm sure. And this is his reel on how to learn how to serve. 15 years of serve in a 30-second reel. And yeah, let's have a look.
Let's do 15 years of serve training in less than 2 minutes. Get your feet sideways on a skateboard. Rock back and delay taking the racket behind the body. Take your shoulders back, leave the hands in the same position. Now toss the ball and make a letter Y with the arms. Let them come up in sync and simultaneously bend the legs and dip the shoulders.
All right, so straight away, I'm already switched off because what? Like, there's so much information there. But to be fair, he is fitting 15 minutes into 2 minutes. So for 15 years into 2 minutes, so fair play. Like, he's giving value for money here. Question I'd ask straight away is why? Why do I need to do all that stuff? And like, okay, he's got some weight transfer there. He's got weight on front foot, weight on the back foot. Starting to rotate the elbow to the shoulders, starting to get both arms to work in sync as well. So, but why? What's the intention? What type of serve you're hitting? What's the score? What's the conditions like? Again, there's no context to this.
Get your shoulder over your shoulder and your hip over your hip.
So again, there's some good point. Like, there's some good technical points here, like shoulder over shoulder and stuff. Like, yeah, we're going to get some shoulder over shoulder rotation. Now he's got some angle of separation as well. So there's some good biomechanical points in here. So again, maybe he is a doctor of biomechanics of tennis. Like, he's got some good biomechanical knowledge. But it will always come back to why. Why do I need to do that? Why do I need to go shoulder over shoulder? What's the context? Why is that going to help my serve?
And lower arm, not active. Keep that.
The lower arm's an interesting one because most biomechanic would say 90-degree elbow. Like, I'm not too fussed with the elbow position is because it's going to be dependent on the strength of the player's shoulders and obviously the weight of the racket as well. So again, now we start getting into, I'm not too sure about the actual content.
The elbow up and on the outside. And from here, start the serve from the ground up. Hop, flip the shoulders, let the racket fall in between your ear and your elbow, let the racket come along for the ride, lead with the butt cap, high five Andre the jump.
I do like the high five on the Giant just because I'm a wrestling fan, so fair play. That gets a tip from me.
Giant, check the time on your imaginary watch. Make a letter X.
If only the good doctor hit a ball. If he hit a ball, we can actually see, does he do all those things? I guarantee he won't. He won't be able to do all those things. And again, I left a comment here, and when I leave comments, I'm just trying to bring awareness. I'm not trolling. I'm not being negative or anything like that. I'm trying to get, okay, maybe think about the content here. The score's going to play a huge point here. If he's love 40 down, I guarantee he's missing out 80% of that because he's nervous, he's tight. The body's not going to move as freely or as fluidly as he wants. I also guarantee that he's not going to do all those teaching points. And yes, there's some good biomechanical bits in there. And in the message and a comment that I put on, like, the body's not a machine. You can't just program the body to do all those things. All those things are trying to get either some type of force or generate some speed. But it depends on the serve. Like, my top spin serve is different to my flat serve in terms of how my body moves. The score will make me change. As I go through a match, my movement's going to change. I'm not going to drive as much with my legs in the third set as I am in the first. And again, there's no context. Like, why do you need to do all those things? But then, problem is with things like this, people will go out and they'll start getting their racket lower. Sorry, their elbow lower because the good doctors told them to get the racket lower, the elbow lower. And people will look at his follower count and look at his videos and see how many views he's got and think, oh my God, this guy must know what he's talking about. It may help him. Like, this might be how he serves. We don't know because he's not actually hit a serve. But the problem is, and again, what I put in the comment was, like, every player is going to serve differently. Every player is physically different. And some players might have a low elbow. Some players might have a high elbow. Some players may tuck it in. Some players may leave, like I said before, 90 degrees. So it's irrelevant. It's an irrelevant post, but gets lots and lots of views. And as you can see, the good doctor has actually, he hasn't blocked me. He's actually restricted me, so I can't see the comments, and I can't comment no more on any of his posts, which is a bit of a shame. And again, not great. So there we have it. 2 Instagram tennis coaches. Again, this is not to troll them. It's not to give them any hate. So please don't go on their accounts and sort of leave any hate. That's not what I want. What I want is to bring awareness to, first of all, hopefully those coaches. Just be careful the information you put out because you do have a huge reach. A lot of people follow you, which is absolutely amazing. Fair play to you. Hats off to you. Well done. A lot of people listen to you and believe in you and trust in you. We've got to be careful. The information that we put out as tennis coaches is going to help players. We can't help a player remotely. We can maybe via Zoom or if it's some kind of one-to-one engagement, but I'm not going to help you by posting out a reel. And tennis coaching's gone like physical fitness or personal training. We're putting out all these content about how to perform things perfectly, and it doesn't help. It's not helping anyone apart from the ego of the coach. And we're seeing it more and more now of players follow these accounts and then they go on the practice court and they're trying to put it into practice. We're seeing it now where parents are following these accounts and then they're going back to their clubs and saying to the coach, I've listened to the tennis doctor and I think we should be doing this because he's got X amount of followers. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's hurting the tennis business. And people may think, well, who are you to pass judgment? Coach, educator, coach assessor. My job is to assess coaches. And I guarantee if they came on a coach qualification with me, they're not passing because the stuff there is, it's not great. It's not great. The good thing is though, there's some good stuff in there. Like the first guy Matt had lots of players on court, absolutely amazing. The second guy, he's got some good knowledge. He's got some good biomechanical knowledge, but it's not the knowledge of what to coach. It's how to coach it. And you're not going to learn it in the 2 ways in which we see in the video. If you do like these type of videos, let me know in the comments if you want to see more. If you do see some great or not so great practices on Instagram, send them over to me via DM at My Tennis Coaching, and then I may look at them in future videos as well. Until tomorrow, I'll see you soon.